I'm knocking this pile down. Next up, I know I've done a couple of videos on this already, but this is Ars Magica 5th edition. Ars Magica is my favorite fantasy game. I have not played Ars Magica in like 30 years, but it is still some of the best gaming I've ever done. I loved my time playing it. I have lamented not being able to play it ever since. I still hope to get it to the table one day, but have no real current plans or anything in the works to do so. I don't feel confident that I could do it if I tried. I found the 5th edition of this game, which is the current edition, but it's been out for like 20 years. I found the 5th edition to be the most approachable version of it, because the thing with Ars Magica is, as you may know from other videos, I'm not a big fan of crunchy game mechanics. I don't love getting into the noodly bits. However, Ars Magica is a rule defier when it comes to that, because it's got tons of noodly bits, and I loved it. It's not an easy game, but I think it's a great one. I think it's one of those games where if you put in the effort, you are rewarded. And I think the rewards for this game are fantastic. And it's a great game if you have invested players. You know, everybody in your group is really into something. I mean, players who are really into this game can be amazing. I think about, like, I had a friend who was running this game, and he was talking about how he had like one player whose character was supposed to be an artist, and that player would go home and do a painting every week in between sessions and bring the painting in of something that happened during the previous session. It's a game that inspires, for the right kind of player, it inspires that sort of behavior. For me, I used to write lab notebooks, which were essentially like a journal, in my characters, in character, for my character in the game. And between the game master and myself, we carried on a whole story that only really happened in that journal. You know, I would hand it back to him, and he would give me some experience points, and he would tell me about what was going on, and we would advance that story as the game went on through that journal, and I loved it. It was fantastic. Great game. Still available, still in print. Most of the supplements, I think, are still in print. Not all of them, but most of them, for the 5th edition. And I think it's not that hard to track down some of the earlier edition stuff. The different editions have their challenges and their benefits. I found 5th to be the most, like, when I read it, it made sense. I feel like they distilled all the best stuff of previous editions into one much more useful book. And I feel more confident that I could run this game now than I did before. So, Ars Magica, check it out, Atlas Games. It's really good. If you want, I should probably tell you a little bit about what it's about. Again, I have videos on my channel if you want to go take a look. I talked like for a long time about this game. But basically, it is a game that focuses on wizards in a fantasy version of medieval Europe. Medieval Europe as seen through the eyes of medieval Europeans. So the things that they would have believed were true are true. God is real, the devil is real, fairies are real, magic is real, dark forests hide scary things, people with hairy palms are werewolves, you know, or vampires or whatever, all that kind of stuff. And it focuses really on making wizards wizards. You know, you're not just a gosh, I don't even know what you'd call a wizard in the big RPG everybody always talks about, except basically useless until they're gods. And in this, it's about being a wizard, and I think it does a great job with it. So, Ars Magica 5th edition, check it out. Highly recommended. Yes.